Welcome back from that, well, I say quick break once again, but much needed, especially just to sort of ease off the tension that we currently have been feeling in the studio today as regards this particular topic of interest. And naturally, I know we get to discuss and really go in depth at times, but naturally, I wouldn't have expected us to go this deep and this long and extensive on this particular story. But it's one that everyone is having, and it cannot be ignored. And if you are a media personnel and you overlook this story, then I'm wondering what you're standing for. Exactly, so definitely we had to treat this. But once again, we'll be waiting for further updates as regards that. So let's move down to other matters. So we know our issues. We have insecurity, we have power sector, we have our currency, and so many other things. So if we're not talking insecurity or infrastructure, we're talking power sector. So for power sector, our lead story for today, we have Blackout as a system collapse hits national grid. Thank you, producers, for helping us with that one. And on the story, it says the transmission company of Nigeria says the national grid on Sunday or earlier in the week announced another system collapse. It attributed the collapse to multiple trippings. This was conveyed in a statement issued by the company's spokesperson, Ndidi Mba. However, TCN said it has since commenced a grid restoration, noting that power has been successfully restored to every part of the country, except Calabar, Gwaji, Makoni, Jos, Gombe, Yola, and Maiduguri axis. And the company says effort is, however, ongoing to ensure full restoration nationwide. Now, not coming off as petty, it says everywhere in the country except, and then we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That was 7 axes.
It's in Nigerian everywhere.
Okay.
The question
so our thoughts on this particular story.
Let's ask her. You have lights.
No. You know the problem is, did you even notice there was a blackout?
Because it's like a norm now.
Some areas naturally have light as well. That was also surprising.
When the news broke that there was a
blackout.
Because of one
national what?
Wait, there's been no lights since.
When did it happen? I don't understand.
Did it happen before the power went out or after?
Okay.
Look, if it's when you talk power in Nigeria, for instance, it looks like if there's any other place you want to check for corruption, don't go anywhere else. Just go there.
That's number one.
You want to know how much? We're not even talking millions now. Trillions of dollars that have been spent just to give us electricity. It's enough to fund certain countries their budgets for years and just keep pumping money. And that's why I said sometimes when you criticize, come up with solutions. And that's how we're doing it. We came up with the whole solution of okay, change it to discos, change it to desco. NEPA had become PHCN, from PHCN is now discos and
the only
Gencos.
change has been the names.
It's just names have been changing. Power has not increased. There was one newspaper I saw from 1960. At the time, they were telling us Blackout power outages were going to be over by the following year. That was in the 60s. People who are born in the 60s saw independence.
And they expected. You can't blame them for that.
Saw independence, and 60 years on, we're still fighting the same battles.
In most democratic countries now, whenever the elections are supposed to be held, there's always one key point that the citizens want to hear. You hear some countries, we are going to end the war, and we're voting for you because you're saying. In Nigeria, since I was born, it is always been electricity supply.
Just to lighten the mood. But we also have to. That's just to lighten the mood. But we also have to talk about the fact that we need more solutions and what we can say as regards where we're headed for power sector. Emmanuel, what can you really say? I mean, 2023 is around the corner, and definitely we're getting a new regime, a new president.
Definitely.
Are we going with the power sector issue into 2023? What do you have to say as regards that?
Any governor or any human being or any politician that comes and tells me, okay, my manifesto, one of it is to give you 24 hours supply of power.
I know you're lying already.
Thank you very much. That's like you already telling me you don't need my voting, because I know that's a big lie.
Yeah.
Your predecessors who came before you have not been able to fix it. Even the one that felt it was witches and wizards that were attacking the whole thing. But look, unless we sit down and then begin to look at alternative source of power, dive away from gas and petrol, move to things like wind, look to things like hydropower. The alternative power supplies. Okay, There's even solar.
Solar, which isn't
Exactly.
even new.
I mean,
Solar isn't new. That's one that
it's not
a
even
lot of
new.
countries
We're
have
not
been depending
exploiting
on
it.
for a
There's
while.
so much heat that we have. If you go outside now, you think it's this scorching sun. And
Heat
we
is
don't
an
even-
asset, seriously, in this part of the world.
That's, you know, as
It's just
somebody
they're
just,
wasting away.
it's just wasting away. I'm not saying maybe they've not thought about it, but it's like they've not even made that commitment to use alternative power. Everybody just still want to depend on gas, and then the day the gas supply is out, they'll have
They'll start running out
gridlock,
this kind of
they'll have
China
this kind of
somewhere.
knockdown in the national grid. Come on now, we've not gone 10,000 capacity of megawatts. Come on now.
Well-
In how many years? 60 years. We've not gotten to 10,000 capacity. Wow. We need more.
Okay.
We need more.
Well, so speaking of solar, let's go to something that is in line, or a story that is in line with that, a particular story as regards that. And that's the one of 25 million Nigerians to own solar systems with 4,000 Naira monthly payment. You know, one thing I love about my country, when it comes to ideas, initiatives, and packaging it and bringing it out, it's always lovely. It gets you so interested in you, like, wow, could this be our time? Could this be it? Could this really be the savior of all the situations, as whatever it might be, whatever sector it might be? So looking at this, what is your reaction? What do you have to say as regards this 25 million Nigerians? We have to ask
the young man who's not seen anything
who
like
hasn't
that.
seen any change. Yes, true.
No, bro. The idea, the whole initiative, it's a good one. But are we really implementing it? Are we really going to say, when they brought pay meters, the
prepaid meters,
now,
yes.
we heard they were going to be given out to every Nigerian
Every Nigerian
household
was still
for
working
free.
on that.
Then later on, it became a prize thing where they're going to bring it to the NEPA, which became paid and then became
And let's not
eco-business.
forget this year as well, the president actually ordered the distribution of it once again,
always free to do
ensuring
that.
that everyone has it. And that was when we now had the increase in tariff as well.
That's
when he
that's
said
my
that
point.
we should hold up
we
on
keep
that.
hearing the lip service. We don't ever see it being implemented in the society. Now you want to give us solar panel or solar energy, and you want us to pay 4,000 Naira every month to use electricity. I know someone who uses prepaid meter. Whenever they switch on their gen, it keeps reading from having switched on your generator that has nothing to do with eco discuss.
Wow.
Now I like the idea, it's a good one, but I just don't see it happening. If it's going to happen, maybe we're talking about the high-rise areas like the VIs, the Lekis, Banana Island, people who already have, they have light, they don't need it.
Okay.
They just want to beautify the environment for them. But for the masses, we're talking about people who can afford golden ball onion and rice, and you want them to pay 4,000 Naira per month for solar panel that the government can easily just, invest into.
Yeah,
We're paying subsidies for loads of other things.
I heard
that are
the
not even as
news.
important
I
as this.
read the news. Thankfully, it came from Laolu Akonde, the special advisor to the Vice President of Nigeria, Osibajo, and he was the one who gave this soundbite that is everywhere in the news that they wanted to give 25 million solar systems. So the thing is, the 4,000 Naira is for those who will pay that stuff consistently for a couple of years, and then you own it.
Okay.
I mean, it's a kind of
how many
arrangement where
years?
just the thing is, pay 4,000 Naira and then you own it. Now, those who understand how solar works is good considering things like batteries.
Yes.
Nobody mentioned that one.
Very
Just get the
It's
soundbite.
not
I
like
think
you're
it's
just
just
going
yeah.
to draw it from
It's not like
somewhere.
you're gonna plant the thing in your house and
Exactly.
it
Just
has to
come
work.
and say things
Now,
that we know is not going to happen.
Who's gonna pay for the batteries? Okay, let's just assume you give us all these facilities and pay 4,000 Naira. It's not my house.
Thank you.
If I move out, I might take it away. So if it's not, if it doesn't
How
work like
can
that,
you
that means
guarantee that in the
I
next
went
month
there.
it doesn't even go up
No,
on
that
that
means,
4,000
now,
Naira and they realize that it's not
in
worth
that same
it?
story, it goes to say they're not even going to start in urban centers. They're starting in rural areas. So I'm thinking, are you saying my grandma in the village who has a mud house will have solar panel
And pay 4,000.
and then pay 4,000 Naira?
Okay.
Hello, sir. In Lagos, as a center, I don't even have lights.
All right.
What
Well,
kind of houses are we
Emmanuel
even talking
Arawa,
about?
not to cut you short, because we can go on and on and on, but let it not be that we are the only ones who love to discuss as regards issues
Okay.
concerning
We do
Nigeria,
love to
because we are
discuss.
Nigerians, but we have several Nigerians out there who are also listening and also want to be a part. So we have our hotline for contribution. You can actually phone in and call us at this particular number. That's 0815 301 5946. So if you want to take a part or contribute as regards your opinions on the national grid, I mean, there's so many people have a lot to say as regards the power sector. It affects everyone, even no matter how rich you are. Honestly, the amount you spend on it, you know that you can get for less. So why wouldn't you want to do something about it?
I was gonna say something ignorant.
Okay, so once again, I'll have to repeat the number. Yes, if you want to make contributions, you can reach us on our hotline, and that's 0815-301-5946. So please feel free to join in on this conversation, and we'll be waiting to hear what you have to say.
I was going to say something ignorant. I know someone's going to quote me. You don't hit my head. Have you gone to the point where, because of the state we've noticed with our power supply, what if we suddenly start to begin to have 24 hours of power? Do you think we will know how to use it? I'm just saying because I remember one time, I remember one time, I don't know what happened in the vicinity. There was power for like 2 days, uninterrupted. People started shouting, take the lights because our freezers are frozen. We can't take things out of the freezer. So they had to turn off the freezer. People don't even know what to do with electricity anymore because they're not used to having any consistency.
Exactly. I know why that happened. The thing is, when the light comes, you're thinking they will soon switch it off.
Yeah.
So you're trying to have everything frozen. So now when it stays for like 2 days, you didn't know it was going to stay that long. Now so you're like, please, take it. Because everything is frozen. The second reason is, with more electricity comes a bigger charge.
Yeah, exactly.
So we don't want you to come and say, do you know what this thing they call crazy bill?
Of course.
Yeah. So if normally I was paying 2,000 naira because I had an extra day of light, it could just skyrise to like 15. We've seen that happen. That was
one of the reasons why the president insisted that you meter everybody. Now, when he said that thing, the first thing that came to my mind was, how I wish we were running the military. Because if you had made a military declaration, everybody will have power.
Straight up.
Everybody will have those meters. But democracy has a way of making things look like, well, I said it.
Not to say I want the military regime.
No, that's not what I mean. I'm just saying, since he said that statement, has everybody now had the meter? No. The bottlenecks are many.
People were paying to even get it the first time it came.
So initially, just like you said, initially you said free. Then it became 75,000 naira for 3-phase meter, 45,000 naira for 2-phase meter. And then when you go to apply for the 2-phase meter, they were like, they run out of stock. So you have the option of buying this. Who needs? Must I go for the 3-phase meter? It's not compulsory. Now you go, okay, fine. The idea is every house should have 1 meter. So in a house where they have like 6 people living, they call it face my face share. How do they share 1 meter? If the next person has an AC, the other person has a freezer, how do you now share the bills when it comes? And this one now, you're buying credit.
Yes.
You're buying credit. So how do you measure based on what you use before you pay?
And you can't have each room.
You can't have each room have a meter. No, it's 1 per house. So when
you think of all those things before they come out with this idea.
So it's interesting. Don't worry, when they begin to come with this solar panel thing, and then they come into a house where they have like 4 different families inside.
Okay, I have to hold you on that particular statement. You said they don't even think about it. And this is surprising coming from, once again, our PR or personal assistant. Because earlier on, when we had our first story, when we talked about our first story, you said, do you think they don't actually have backup plans? So I want to believe that. Don't you think they thought about it? They've thought about it, worked through it, actually put some ideas on regards.
That's what I'm saying.
But then you coming out to say
they thought of it. Obviously, before you do anything and everything in this life.
Exactly.
But then don't you sit and think of the constraints or how it's not going to work? They just sit and think, okay, what can we do this time around? So they'll say we did something.
I think that's a Nigerian problem. I'm not going to, because I've not done this analysis anywhere else, but this is a Nigerian problem. Okay, do you know, for instance, that to get this same prepaid meter for you to apply, the form with which they will give you, you have to pay for it.
Okay, I haven't heard that one before.
I mean, my mom tried to apply for one, and then she said they had to pay. Guess how much? 300 naira for the form. I'm like,
for the form, so you had to pay 300 naira.
That's how cheap the person mentioned it, and I mean,
I hope it was not a situation where, you know, there are some forms where you see this form is not for sale, and then you're saying
you understand that
it's 300.
The same thing happened.
And if you make a mistake, you have to get a new one. You pay.
The same thing happened with our railing system. Everybody came. New rails have started, and then they started hoarding tickets. They started by selling tickets to the highest bidder. This one that has nothing to do with the federal government that set up these things, but it is we ourselves who are punishing ourselves. They said, okay, make these things available. You say somebody should come and pay for form, 300 naira. Everybody just wants to milk you. Everybody just wants. Okay, I'm just giving examples. Remember when we had to queue in line for NIN, National Identity Numbers?
Yes, true.
How many people now have the cards? People are still holding on to the temporary slip they gave for how many years? I've had mine for so many years. The thing is, some things that are supposed to be systemic.
All right.
We will just look for loopholes all the time.
Okay, Emmanuel, cutting you short once again. It's once.
I love talking, all right? Exactly. I can just go on and on.
And I remember starting off this episode today talking about the day basically and saying it's beautiful. And I believe that it's going to be beautiful all the way through, but then I'm not the weather, so we'll have to find out if that's true. I don't control that. So we have to reel in the weather report now and find out how the day is looking forward today. Stay with us, we'll be right back shortly.
Welcome back from that very short break for the weather report. Now, from what we saw,
partly cloudy in Lagos.
But
it's still okay because we never need it too hot.
Conditions today put me into considerations. I don't like the sun, so it's just like my Lagos weather.
But it's expected because sooner or later we're going to be feeling the harmattan.
True.
So the dust, and I mean it's coming at a time when people need to also. Now the face mask is going to be doing two things. It's not going to be saving you from just COVID.
Yeah,
the
dry dust of the harmattan.
Yeah, true. And those people that are coming now with wheezy coughs and dry throats, catarrh, it comes with harmattan. Now don't mistake it for COVID. Let's say that
let me just advise if you want to sneeze, hold it in. Just like hold it.
Because right now, I said it came at a time when you can't really tell which is which. Is it COVID cough? Or just normal dry cough?
We need to get someone who can, disseminate between COVID cough and the normal cough.
The cough is cough.
How are we going
Please,
to
just wear your face mask. We're still promoting the face mask wearing. Wash your hands. This is basic hygiene. Forget about the weather. Forget about whatever it is. There's still COVID. Please, social distancing, maintain it. Go everywhere with your face mask. And don't be one of those people who, where you see no face mask, no entry. You wear your face mask and enter, and then when you get in there, you take it off. That's
not what it means. That's not what it means.
You're supposed to stay with your face mask all the time. It's saving your life. They say,
especially those boarding public transport. Like they have it on when they're queuing or jumping.
Yes.
The bus. Once they get in, they just like, okay, there's COVID outside, there's no COVID inside. Like,
so
I don't get it.
I wish that was the case. Like you say, okay, COVID is here and it's not here. Life would have been so much easier, but that's not the case.
NCDC will always say it's easier to wear a face mask than to wear a defibrillator.
True.
Those things don't even come in cheap.
Yeah. Okay.
Nobody wants to go into any hospital right now. One of my friends told me about how much he had to spend just to get treated for malaria in the public hospital. The number of people that you see there, it's enough for you not to even fall sick. Because before they will attend to you, the queue is no.
Okay, so Emmanuel, I said we were going to be taking contributions, and I have someone on the line. So let's find out who this is and contributions on the power sector. Hello, good morning. Sorry, I didn't get your lovely name.
I'm calling from Ikoyi.
Okay, Bumi from Ikoyi. Contributions, I believe, definitely. You sound like someone who is about to complain as regards 24/7 light. So you can share your opinions with us as regards the blackout and because of the national grid, basically.
Okay, actually, I think as regards your news this morning, my statement, we are not ready for a solar panel kind of power whatsoever.
Okay.
I mean, we have been trying to use water, a simple thing as water, power for over how many years, and we have not been able to use water. How can we be social? We can use sun.
Well, I mean, we win some, we lose some.
You're right.
Maybe it's just since it's not working out. Exactly. You can go on.
So I feel we are not ready for that. We are not ready for that part here. We're not ready for that part at all.
Do you have power now, y'all?
The national grid going off without prior notice from the body at PPN for a whole 2.5 hours.
Yes, that's true. The notice was an issue.
Totally unacceptable. Like, I mean, people get to pay through their noses, through a whole lot of, people just break their back to pay this money. In fact, I could hear one of your presenters saying someone prepaid free even when we put on the gem.
Yeah, that story was hilarious. At the same time, annoying.
Imagine wanting to have such the power outage and not inform the people prior to the time the power outage is going to.
But Bumi, do you have power in your house now?
I don't even know.
Okay, and were you aware of the blackout at any point? Did you feel like something was wrong at that point in time, or are you part of the 2 days on and 1 day off?
Notice.
No, that one was annoying.
Okay.
It is a norm. It is a norm when it comes to this part of the country where we just get to see light anytime and we take the light anytime. So we really need to embrace the attitude or that culture.
Very
Yeah.
true.
Informing people that, from so time to so time, we won't have light.
Okay then. All right. Well, Bumi, thank you. Bumi from Ikoyi, thank you so much for your time and joining us on Rise and Shine today. Your opinions and contribution is much appreciated. Thank you so much once again. Bye. Well, then, that was Bumi from Ikoyi sharing her honest opinion.
She didn't even notice there was going to be a blackout. Like, we didn't know till they announced after the blackout.
Normally, you're supposed to get a text from your service provider.
Exactly.
Saying, okay, well, at a certain point in time from so period, there's going to be a blackout. Do not be concerned. We're working on it and things like that. That's what happens in countries.
No, but I wanted to ask you a question, Faith.
Okay.
Where you stay,
I'm already feeling attacked.
I
shouldn't be scared.
Because Emmanuel mentioned something earlier, so I wanted to know if it's the same way for every one of us.
Okay.
Now, in your area, do you still have like 2 days light and then the next days you're off?
Okay. Well, I can't. I think sometimes when it comes to all these things, you shouldn't put me on this spot because I'm not saying I don't understand what people are going through, but then some of these issues I can't completely relate to, so that can be a problem. It doesn't really happen
in the grid.
It doesn't really happen. It doesn't really happen in my area. At least you know that you're going to get a certain number of hours of light every day.
No.
But then when that doesn't happen, then you know there's a problem. So it's either a transformer before you then think of a blackout.
Okay, so anytime you don't
that's
have a
the case.
light in your area, you're thinking there has to be a problem.
With the transformer, yes, or
In
something
some
like
places,
that.
That means she's living in
They
the
have
grid.
light. Exactly.
Maybe they generate power in the
So
house.
that's why I said putting me here is not going to give the honest opinion of or a percentage or fraction of the minds of Nigerians. So
I wish people
leave me out of this
I
one,
wish
and I will not
call
lie
in
to
and
you
explain
because
what it
it's the
feels like.
truth. So
Please,
that's
please,
the
Where do
thing.
you stay? So I will move over to that side. I mean, we all need to
I really just wish someone could call in and explain what it feels like to know. Like, you know beforehand that you're going to have light for the next 2 days.
and then
the third day there's not going to be...
Look, I can't pretend. I've lived in that kind of area before. Where it got so bad was on your 2 days that are supposed to be on, in quote, they will still take lights. So you're like, okay, so they're just
on the 2
shortchanging me
days that's supposed
nowadays.
to be on, when I was in the university, on the 2 days you're supposed to have light. Now, you know, in a day you have 24 hours.
Yeah.
You bring light for 8 hours. Like, it is structured. Out of that 1 day, you would have the light for 8 hours. So they bring you 8 hours in the morning. Then at night, you spend the remaining 4
That means
hours.
they just cheated you there. In your
So
own
it's
days,
not
when
really
you're
24 hours.
on-
Why would you
Well,
have
day on doesn't mean 24 hours day on. There's a day on
Okay, so it's-
and then
so-
a
so
day
your
off.
day
There's
on
a 24 hours
is a
day
day
on.
on.
So your day on is a typical Nigeria where there's no
Exactly,
light.
there's no light.
Because I had to ask Bumi, okay, do you have power now?
Yeah,
Like,
she
I don't know. Like,
because there might be power, there might not be power.
oh, no. You can't predict anything. I can't plan without power. No.
Well, it's sad once again. Let's not lose focus as regards it. Yes, we are. I wouldn't say having fun or enjoying the current situation.
Well,
That's it.
yeah.
But that's the thing about Nigerians. Whether it's as tense as it can be, we always try to find the lighter side to it all, the brighter side to it all, and that's what we're doing. But we can't also forget the fact that this is not something we're enjoying. This is not something we're happy. This is something that we shouldn't even be talking about in this present time in 2020.